Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Local Women, the Business Pivot podcast. I have the wonderful Nuala McMenamin here with me today, who is a personal and commercial stylist and founder of Adorn Bespoke Styling. Nuala, it's wonderful to have you here with us today. Thank you so much.
So lovely to be here. Thank you so much, Gayle. Delighted.
And this wonderful sunny day as well. It's absolutely amazing to get some sunshine. So Nuala, we're here to talk about your business pivot, obviously, but let's find out a little bit just about you first of all. So who are you? What is Adorn Bespoke Styling and where you are right now in your career? Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so I'm Nuala McMenamin, as you said, and I started as a graphic and multimedia designer, then moved into marketing, then moved into creative operations. But my true passion has always been fashion and clothes and styling. And even more so with women, like if I was in a night out, I'd be the one finding the loos, like gushing over people's outfits, telling them how fab they looked, like asking had they thought about trying this, that and the other. Didn't think I could have a career out of it, but I worked with a career coach in 2019 and we went back to our why, and mine was clothes and fashion and styling. And she gave me the confidence to give it a go, and then it went from there. And now I work on commercial shoots, I work with one-to-one clients, and I run group programs. And the satisfaction and joy that I get out of seeing the difference in my clients, that I can help them kind of see themselves through fresh eyes and be braver and bolder with their choices. So I do it for one-to-one or personal clients, but I also do it for commercial as well. And even seeing a story come to life through the clothes that I've kind of directed for it is just beyond special. So that's where I'm at currently.
Oh, that is absolutely amazing. And you are a complete fashionista. I mean, even how you're dressed today. And every time I meet you, Nuala, you are just inspirational in how you dress. And you're always so bright and colourful. And it really emulates from your personality, which is absolutely brilliant. And how you dress, you can show your personality. And I think we don't realise that, particularly as women, enough, really, do we? So the work that you do is really vital. And I'm a big believer in it. So let's take you back to that time of the pivot, which is what we're here to talk about today. Now, you've had a few pivots in your career and in your life, but let's take you back to the start of COVID. So 6 years ago, goodness, can you believe it? 6 years ago now. Tell us about where you were, what was happening for you, and then that journey from then until here we are today.
So yeah, it is hard to believe it's 6 years ago. Like time has went kind of globular nearly since COVID, like it's not linear anymore. So yeah, as I said, I worked with a career coach in 2019 and that kind of gave me the confidence to start going into styling. I did some work with friends and family, and you know, there was a girl that had an interview coming up and I dressed her for the interview, and I find if you can put rationale and meaning into the decisions that you're making, people buy into it more. But I'm able to give that rationale and meaning, and it's not just putting together a good outfit for the sake of it. And whenever people have that rationale, they move forward with confidence, and you know, maybe dressed friends for weddings as well, and they were often saying, you should do this, like there is more to it than just pulling a nice outfit together. So I went about starting my own business, and it was kind of at the end of 2019, I was kind of tinkering with it. And my relationship actually ended at that point. I had a messy enough exit from a role that I was in. And so my head was kind of in, like I was still like moving ahead, starting my business. And then registered it in January 2020, and then COVID hit. Like, could you imagine like a personal, personal styling business in COVID when we're all locked up in our homes?
Starting out as well.
Just starting out. And my vision very much was personal styling, working with one-to-one clients. And I was just like at a complete standstill, did not know what to do. And then I did a program, Alice Blenheim, I don't know if you're aware of her. She kind of works in like marketing for small businesses and helping them scale. She did a course over COVID. I did her course and it kind of sprung something in my mind. I was like, I can do styling parties over Zoom. And I started to offer Zoom styling parties, and people were really interested in them because I suppose it broke up that kind of existential news feed of like what is happening in this pandemic, and you know, the kind of online Zoom quizzes that we were all doing as well. So it was just a nice piece of content. I had a dressmaker's dummy that I put a face on. So I did a demonstration with her. I called her Queenie. And it was really good fun. And off the back of that, people were then wanting to work with me. They were using the downtime to look at their wardrobes, to look at their personal style and think like, okay, maybe I do need a bit of a refresh. I also got opportunity to work with various businesses, and I did workshops on the importance of showing up for yourself and using your clothes as a tool to do that, and resisting the urge to just dress the top half of your body, to dress yourself fully for the day, and using your clothes as a tool to denote your personal time from your work time, because obviously like your work time encroached in your personal sanctuary, your home. So I did quite well actually over COVID with those different revenue streams. But I lost my confidence when the world opened up again. And it was in 2022, and me and my friends wanted to get a holiday to Thailand. And I just didn't have the confidence that my cash flow was going to be able to support that holiday and even my lifestyle, because obviously the cash that I needed while we were all in lockdown was very different to the cash that I needed to live a normal life when the world opened up again. So I went back into full-time employment. And I loved the job that I was in, and I kept seeing my styling clients evenings and weekends. And it was actually a really good thing, Gayle, as well, because I think before that I was really nervous and like cautious about my pricing. And because I am working in a passion-led role, I would do my work for free. But unfortunately, I have bills to pay, and that's not how the world works. But I really struggled with charging properly for the work and the services that I provide. But going back into employment completely changed that, because I was going to be taxed too heavily on the work that I would do, and I needed it to be worth my while. So I could only do the work if it was going to pay me appropriately. So that was a great lesson to learn. And for the most part, Gayle, whenever I advised clients that my prices were going to have to increase, they didn't flinch. And it was just a real lesson in how far I was undervaluing the service that I was providing. So that was really helpful.
And that was your belief and your mindset rather than theirs.
Exactly. It was my own thoughts. Like, it was because I loved it so much, I would do it for free. I thought, why would someone pay me to do this? And they do. And also, I got more and more confident in the service I was providing and the value that I can give to clients. So I did that for 3 years, but I knew I was going to come out of that role and back into the styling, because it is what I'm most passionate about. And it was funny, Gayle, while I was in that role as well, one of my clients had quite a high profile role in London, and I sorted out her wardrobe she was promoted to a new role, and I sorted her out for her wardrobe for her new role, and it was more in person, no longer, behind a kind of screen over Zoom. And she was actually on Newsnight, and she was wearing the cobalt blue Hugo Boss suit that I picked out for her. And I was like still doing my 9 to 5, and it was just like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. But that role as well that I worked in gave me my first commercial opportunity as well. And again, it was just phenomenal. I again realised I had skills that I could utilise here, and I was really adding value to the shoots. And because of my personal styling background, so for the talent that I had to style, I gave them all personas and stories about, we were working with a jewellery brand, and I gave them a story about how the couples met. Sorry, it was couples and they were in love, and I gave stories about how they met, what their backgrounds were, what their professions were, and it just helped the client buy in, and it helped me dress them in a much more appropriate way than it would be just to kind of pull outfits and that look.
Because they had lives and backgrounds, and they were people, they were real.
I absolutely loved that again, and it was another nod to back to the styling. That's what you need to do. So I left that full-time role in March last year, and I have just been over a year now doing the styling full-time, and I absolutely love it. So they're my kind of two major pivots across my time being self-employed.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your journey, Nuala. It's so interesting. And I think at that time you describe in lockdown, and we all know, and wearing pyjamas and nobody was going anywhere. But how inventive and intuitive of you as well to think, actually, this is what is happening to people. They're in their houses, they're sitting in the jammies, they're not going anywhere, because we couldn't really go anywhere at the height of the main lockdowns, obviously eased over time. We were all doing those stupid lockdown parties, those quizzes. I hated those quizzes, but anyway, we were all doing those quizzes. We were all drinking probably far too much as well. We were all eating far too much. Everybody was making banana bread. Yeah. But at that time, nobody was really probably thinking about what am I dressing like and what am I wearing. But it's so true what you say, and particularly that work from home, which became a huge part of most people's life, unless they were a key worker at that particular point in time. And that's continued even to now. Yes, there's lots of offices and things that are open, we do hybrid working, but there's still that work from home element in a lot of jobs globally. And that, I mean, I've done many corporate Zoom calls in previous lives with people who are actually sitting in pyjamas and those kind of snooty hoodie things that are all fluffy and things like that. But there's definitely something in showing up in a certain way and dressing a certain way, feeling that you're at work, even if you're sitting in your living room or your bedroom or wherever you are. And that professional aspect of it as well, it's putting on that persona of this is me, this is work Gayle, and this is personal life and home life Gayle, and this is comfy, and this is me dressing up and showing up. So what advice would you give, just picking up on that point, what advice would you give to any of our listeners listening today that work from home predominantly and find that they get themselves into that rut of just wearing hoodies and leggings or pyjama bottoms and only dressing from the waist up? What would you say?
Well, what you wear has a huge impact on how you feel about yourself, how you conduct yourself, how you present yourself, and how people perceive you. And I always compare wearing comfy clothes. I mean, comfy clothes are great. There's a time and a place. But it's a wee bit like junk food or cake. It's like cake is fabulous, it is delicious, but if you were eating cake every day, you'd fairly get sick of it. And there is a comparison to be made with comfy clothes. So it just, the more you're just like grabbing whatever's at the end of your bed, whatever's like handiest to throw on in the morning, dragging yourself in front of your laptop or your screen, that's not the best start for your day. That's not setting you up for success or setting you up for even like feeling good and feeling great. But at the same time, Gayle, I don't expect people to get dressed like I am every day. Like, it has to work for you. Comfort is not going anywhere. There are suits now that are made in 4-way stretch fabric because comfort is key. Comfort is queen, I always say, and like that's fabulous and we need to lean into that. But there's ways to dress comfortably, but you still feel put together. So even if it is the leggings, wear the leggings, but make sure they're a pair of leggings you feel really good in and you enjoy wearing. Pair them with a top that, you know, maybe have like a lovely like patterned legging or have some nice detail on it that feels like considered. Pair it with a top that you can maybe add like a scarf or an accessory or something you feel comfortable wearing. Sorry, I am speaking more towards women now, but I mean, it is local women magazine, so it makes sense. But be considered in what you're wearing and like prepare what you're wearing the night before so that it is a conscious decision and so that you are feeling good in it. It's not just something you're throwing together, because if you throw something together that's just like handy, you're just going to feel thrown together for that whole day. You're not going to feel good about yourself. And you can use your clothes as a tool to feel good about yourself and how you present. And it changes your whole day. Like, it's worth those couple of minutes of consideration before you go to bed the night before in terms of what am I going to throw on myself and coordinate. And like just those moments of time make such a huge difference. They really do.
And thinking about that mindset and mindset shift, and how you show up and how you present yourself based on what you wear. Has your style changed, do you think, as you've changed career, gone through those pivots in your career as well, changed job roles, gone back into employment, come out of employment, been in self-employment? You said as well you lost your confidence and went back into employment when the holiday to Thailand. Has your image, your dress, your style, has it changed over time or has it always remained the same?
It has changed. And I've always like how I dress probably reflects my mood most often. And I have worked in roles where maybe I wasn't happy and I wasn't fulfilled. And also my mood is often related to my weight as well.
Right.
And maybe like I had gained weight and I was struggling to find clothes that I enjoyed wearing. And then I just got really functional and was just dressing in clothes that would just like get on me and cover my body and hide my body and minimise myself. And I do recall like even, you know, like grabbing stuff in Tesco. It's fine, Tesco have some lovely pieces, but it was just like functional, and it was just so that it would just kind of go over my body, moreover getting enjoyment out of what I was wearing. And I do remember making a really conscious decision to change that. And I think you can work on yourself from the inside out, and you can work on yourself from the outside in as well. And I think how you dress and present yourself is a really good way to start. And my weight has fluctuated over the years. I have been from a size 8 to a size 22. At this point I was somewhere in between, but I was dressing to hide myself. And then I decided I'm embracing colour again, and I started wearing more vibrant colours that were in my wardrobe, and it completely shifted how I felt about myself, and just how I was able to go about my day, how I was able to engage with other people. So I definitely do know what it's like to dress to kind of minimise and hide yourself. But like you can just make the decision and shift that really, really quickly, and it instantly impacts and changes how you feel. And another occasion I can think, I was like between design jobs, and I was working randomly in a builder's merchant. And I like, it was a very kind of masculine environment, and I can't remember, I was maybe mid-20s at that stage. And it was smart casual, so that brief was like trousers and a blouse, and I'm quite busty, so blouses never really sat well on me. And you know, at that stage I would have been going out fairly often at the weekends, and I nearly always wore dresses and skirts at the weekend. And I consciously realised, was like, why would I reserve feeling, and I loved wearing dresses, but I didn't enjoy wearing the smart casual. And I thought, why would I reserve feeling good in my clothes for 2 days of the week? You know, really it's important that you feel good every day of the week. And I remember deciding I'm going to wear dresses to work because I want to feel good 7 days a week, not just 2 days a week. And it was huge to wear a dress in that environment. And I remember being so self-conscious, but I remember making the decision. I was just like, you're pushing through, you'll get over it. And I get lots of compliments, and I did get over it. And at that point, I wore dresses nearly every day. I actually don't own a pair of jeans, so I don't.
That's amazing. And that's what I was going to say, what was the reaction? But you said it was a good reaction then. You got lots of compliments.
Lots of compliments, and not even being creeps. So they weren't. You know, it was mostly the women were just like, oh, I like your dress, where'd you get that from? And I think like clothes is a real connector as well. And I think whenever, you know, people do see something they like or something different, like, you know, most often like people will give you compliments or kind of comment on it like in a good way. But no, I think people were like, I always love to see you coming. I love to see what you're going to be wearing from one day to the next. So no, it was really, really good. And from then, like as I say, I've always worn dresses. So yeah, so do you understand what it is to kind of push yourself? But I knew ultimately I felt better in dresses, but I needed to just really change my kind of approach to that environment. And I do think sometimes we can dress for our environments rather than for ourselves. And obviously there is like a level of professionalism you have to meet, but you can still dress for yourself within that context. Another time actually, I used to work for an international law firm, and the dress code there was smart casual as well and no denim. And I just ran with that. But I did wear coloured tights at that point, and I did wear like, you know, patterned clothes, and like I was very much comfortable in my own dress sense at that stage. And I remember I had to work out of the Amsterdam office at one point, and the marketing director of that site, whenever I was introduced to her, she said, you wear coloured tights. She was like, that's clever because people will remember you. And that really, really stuck with me. Exactly. And it's like you know, and it wasn't even like a conscious, I'm making myself memorable, but I know I was. And I actually did get promoted was in that role, and I got to work with some of the key people on the board of directors. I was very good at my job as well.
It wasn't just the tights.
I was able to deliver on what I was expected to do as well. But it's just interesting how, you kind of plot my time along with the clothes that I wore at those stages.
And it's definitely being memorable, especially in business, whether you're self-employed or whether you're in a corporate role or whatever that is, any employment, is that you do want to stand out, and these days you do need to stand out as well. So if you can have something that's your USP, whether it's tights, whether it's a handbag, whether it's whatever, it doesn't need to be even clothes, but something that just makes you different and unique from everybody else, you are memorable, and people will remember you. They might not remember your name, but they remember the thing about you that actually stood out, which is so interesting. So let me take you back then into the business pivots and the several pivots that you've had to arrive at where you are now as the founder of Adorn Bespoke Styling. Goodness, I can't say it, get my teeth around that. And how successful you are in your business now, and all the work and all the people that you're helping now as well, including myself. You've also helped me recently as well, so thank you for that. And I now wear brighter colours like the trousers I have on today, which is fabulous. But let's think about our listeners that are listening at the moment, and if they're feeling, I'm at a point in my career where I have this passion, I have this drive, I would love to be able to be brave enough just to step outside my comfort zone and do something else, but I just don't feel like I can. What one piece of advice would you give to them?
You absolutely can. Without a doubt. Like, if you have a passion and there's a niggle at you, that just telling you that you're meant for something else, or you're meant to explore it. But I understand the apprehension. I understand how difficult it is to do that. But start small, and start with maybe friends and family. I think that was one of the best things that I did, was understanding, do I have a sellable service here? Are people willing to pay for the service I can provide? And that was safe to explore that, and it wasn't just pick and close. It was like, what's the process? What's the structure? What is it that people, what's the value that I'm adding to potential clients? So I think, regardless of what it is that your idea is, if it is product based, like, start with your minimal viable offering, and, get a prototype made, test, see if there is a market for what you're doing. If it is a service, like, maybe try and get a wait list started to see if there's appetite for what you're offering, but start small and low cost while you're still working, and see if, get proof of concept initially first, and then take it from there. But if there's something that's telling you that there's like a passion project or something that, you want to explore, like, just do it, just go for it, give it a go, because life is short and we've only one go at it, and there's no point watching other people around you achieving their goals and dreams if there's something telling you that you want to do that as well, because not everybody has that feeling. People are happy to go to their work, turn up to their jobs, do a good job and go home. If you're not one of those people, then you're meant to explore something else. That's what I think anyway. Such
good advice, and a great note to end on today as well, Nuala. Thank you. So let's tell our audience where they can find you. So social media handles, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, all of that. Website?
My website is adornbespokestyling.com. It is a mouthful. I wish it was just called Adorn Styling, but that wasn't available. So it's Adorn Bespoke Styling. And to be fair, my services are all bespoke. Yep. And like, my social links are all Adorn Bespoke Styling as well. So I'm on Instagram, and then LinkedIn, I'm Nuala McMenamin. But you can find my business pages there as well, Adorn Bespoke Styling. And LinkedIn and Instagram. I'm also on Facebook as well. But I mean, that's really just for selling stuff in Marketplace these days.
Thank you so much, Nuala. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you today. And thank you for telling us about your journey and your story. And I will have you back anytime.
Aww. Thank you so much, Gayle. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Take care.